Welcome back to AJ Kitchen Paper. Today we are looking at Hayashi Rice, or essentially beef stew on rice. But this is not your everyday beef stew. So now that Oates has so lovingly pushed this tomato can towards us, let's dive in. First, let's slice and dice up a big old onion. Chop in half, chop off the butts, and then into large slices. As cutting these bad boys up can be a very dangerous task, do wear some goggles. And then you just want to pop those boys aside for later because we're going into Mushroom Town. Destalk and slice up 4 lovely shiitake mushrooms and off to the side. And over to the flame. So place in a pat of butter and you just want to melt that boy down. Now once he's all but melted down, chuck in all of your onions. And in they go. Give them all a nice swishity swish, a nice mixity mix. Now that these boys are all nice and fragrant, chuck in your beef, and again you're just going to mixity mix these boys all nice and together. Alrighty, on a nice high heat, give them a bit of a tossity toss. And now that the beef is almost fully cooked, let's chuck in some flour. And by some I mean 3 heaping tablespoons of it. Now once you've sprinkled these boys all in there, you just want to give everybody a nice mixity mix. And then we're going to chuck in a full can of cut tomatoes. And then 1 more can as well. Nice. Can't have too much tomato. Along with 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce, because that's going to add a lot of flavour. And then a good squirt of okonomiyaki sauce. And of course you got to mixity mix everybody together. Now at some point edit in some laurel leaves and mushies, you sneaky magic bastard, along with half a tablespoon of mensu and half a tablespoon of soy sauce. And 1 small mixity mix, thank you! Time to plate up. Grab a small ball and fill it up to the brim with white rice. This is going to be the mould for your rice. Now that he's nice and full, grab a large plate and then tip him out to make a perfect half sphere of rice. Ta-da! Now surround your small island of rice with some Hayashi stew. Realize that perhaps this tiny island nation of rice land will not work out. Try to drown your tiny island nation in magma stew. Now after going full ham on this, realize that maybe we shouldn't have done it like this and just head on back to square one. So flatten out your rice to fill up half the plate with rice, and then on the other side you want to pour over all of your stew. While your tiny island rice nation might not have worked out, this still looks pretty good. Sprinkle on some parsley bits and Dunsky Runsky. Appetizing, is it not? Tonight's drink is iced tea sour. This brings me back to my year 9 days when I used to drink way too much iced tea at school. Now that we've had a bit of a sippity sip, I think it's time for a taste test. As you can tell by this recipe, this really isn't a beef stew in the sense of the word that we would mean it. Without being too reductive, this is essentially a non-spicy curry. But because of that, I think it is really uniquely Japanese in the fact that it's not actually an Indian curry and it's not really a English beef stew. It's the amalgamation of all of those things really, only put through a Japanese lens. But it's so easy and all of these ingredients are so easy to come by. I hope you have a go. Now I need to grab myself a plate. Till next time.